Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Do or do not. There is no try.
So I wasn't sure if I even wanted to do a review for this movie. Because as soon as you do, based on what I've seen on Twitter and people's reactions, you open yourself up to this political conversation. I myself am not a political person, and I do not talk politics on this channel. I actually can't stand politics with a passion.
Damn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
But I'm going to look at this a little bit differently than everyone else because that's what I do here on this channel. Based on what I've seen, I actually think that this movie's supporters are doing this film a disservice by trying to use this movie to attack certain people in certain groups. I myself watched this movie and didn't find it to be an indictment on any particular political party. You can certainly take it that way, but I took it as more of an indictment on humanity as a whole. And I will explain why.
No shit.
First, let me give you a general premise of this movie so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. Don't Look Up is written and directed by Adam McKay, and it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, and a whole slew of other famous people. In the film, two scientists, played by DiCaprio and Lawrence, discover that a world-killing comet is on its way to Earth. And they spend the majority of this film's runtime trying to convince people that this is a legitimate threat.
But why?
Now, I do think that a cardinal sin was made by the people who are involved with this movie when they went out and said explicitly that this is a metaphor for climate change. Why is that not a good idea? Because as I've stated many times on this channel, if you have to tell people the meaning of your movie, then that meaning is lost, at least partially. Also, by explicitly stating this, you are instantly alienating a good portion of your possible audience. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's just the way things work now. Again, if you leave this movie up to interpretation and allow people to form their own conclusions, the message is a lot more digestible.
That makes sense.
Also, there are elements in this movie that are a bit heavy-handed, especially later in the film, which is a term that I use all too much when watching modern movies, unfortunately. And I'm not going to lie to you, these elements will turn certain people off. Now, unlike other somewhat heavy-handed movies that I've watched recently, I will say that this movie at least manages to be a bit clever about what it's doing. And I wasn't completely turned off by it because there are moments where it's well done, it's a well-made movie, and some of these moments do resonate with me still.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot, it's serious!
To me, this movie isn't about politics or climate change. And it's more about the ignorance of society as a whole. Some people aren't going to look at this from a mature perspective, and those people are part of the problem. This movie speaks on the incompetence of politics as a whole, the incompetence of media as it pertains to giving the public factual information. It speaks to how people are concerned with all the wrong things.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Let's say for a moment that you take the somewhat divisive metaphor out of this movie, and say there really was a comet heading towards Earth that was going to destroy all of us. Knowing people like I do, I have no doubt in my mind that people wouldn't take that seriously until it was too late. Not because we want to ignore this catastrophic event as a society, but because everything that we have in our lives has desensitized us to actual threats. Everything from our entertainment to our social media. Think about it. When any major event happens in the world, it's followed by the creation of memes that go along with it, or hashtags that accomplish absolutely nothing. All the while, people typically are distracted by the most insignificant things and typically ignoring the real problems. That's what I got out of this movie. It depicts our very egotistical society very well. And some people might not be able to see that because they're turned off by other things in the movie, and that's kind of a shame.
Message!
In many aspects, Don't Look Up puts a mirror up to society in a very satirical way. Does anyone really think that the media being more concerned with a celebrity breakup instead of a potentially catastrophic event is all that far-fetched? I do not for a second. Now, there are moments in the movie where the satire goes a bit too far and the characters do get unrealistically stupid, but I do think it's a give and take situation with a movie like this because it is a comedy.
Ha ha, very funny, motherfucker!
As far as the film itself, aside from the message, I think the cast is fantastic and I think they all do a good job with the roles that they are given. As always, to me, Leonardo DiCaprio steals the show. I'm of the opinion that he is the greatest living actor we have working right now, and I think he proved it again in this movie. And this is a role that we're not really accustomed to seeing him play. He plays a vulnerable, unconfident schlub, and he does it very well.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
It is a very dry form of comedy in this movie that will work for some people and not for others. And this might be the first time that I've ever said this on this channel, but if you take the heavy-handed aspects out of it, this is actually a pretty well-made movie. Typically, when movies do get a bit preachy, I tend to check out, and that didn't happen this time around. I was actually invested the entire time. And I think it's because I refuse to look at it in the way that people are telling you should be looking at it. It's always best to just form your own opinion, and I can't stress that enough. It's not something that I ever need to watch again, but it is worth a one-time view in my opinion. I got something out of it personally, I was entertained, so that's why I'm going to give it the Pleased Palpatine. Good. I'd also recommend that you continue watching during the credits because there are scenes contained that create a bigger picture. So if you've seen Don't Look Up, if you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out. What the hell is that?